Hi, my name is Angel Rivero, and I am with Doctors Greg and Gia Pastor Fide, a medical power team because sila ay mag-ama, and of course, they have a lot to share with us today. Dr. Gia, could you please explain to us, ano ba ang REI?
Yung REI, that stands for Reproductive Endocrinology and Infertility. So basically, that's also an obstetrician gynecologist, but they had special training, further training.
I see.
Yeah, so
And who exactly needs to come see an REI?
REI encompasses different diseases at saka different entities. May menopausal, endometriosis, polycystic disease, things like that. But also, the infertility aspect, that's covered by the REIs.
I see. Ngayon, Dr. Greg, medyo malaking issue din ng infertility. But then, how does one know na, naku, parang infertile yata ako? Is it something na parang trial and error or may mga signs?
Well, kung halimbawang yung mag-asawa hindi nagbubuntis for a period of 1 year, then the suspicion or the index of your suspicion na infertile sila is high. And that's the reason kapag meron silang infertility problem, that's the time that they have to go to the infertility expert. Now, this would include also yung kung halimbawang yung pasyente ay matanda na, and since we know na ang pinakamahusay is while you are young, you get pregnant. So meaning to say, kapag ikaw may edad na, minamadali mo nang mabuntis ka.
Sinabi niyo po, Doc, pag may edad na, ano po ang definition? Ang cut-off po ba niya ay
Ang
36?
cut-off would be 35.
Ooh.
Anybody who will be more than 35 years of age, merong katumbas na parang malaki ang abnormalities, malaki ang chance na baka hindi magbuntis or things like those.
I see. Pero hanggang sa anong edad po yung parang acceptable pa na isik nila na gusto ko pang magbuntis? Mga 45, mga unrealistic na po ba yun?
Hindi naman kasi, especially nowadays na merong mga assisted reproductive technologies na po pwede mong pag-aralan yung halimbawa makukuha ang itlog. And you can use the ones that are normal. Ito ang mga instances whereby pwedeng magbuntis yung medyo may edad na. Ito ang tinatawag na pre-implantation genetic diagnosis na nakikita kung halimbawa may defect yung egg. Kung halimbawa defective yung egg, probably we as doctors would recommend that patient should stop getting pregnant because chances are magiging abnormal yung pregnancy.
I see. So ngayon, lalo po sa Pilipinas, marami po tayong mga myths. Yung ating mga viewers will probably have history of hearing myths such as kapag may photocopier, tas tumabi kayo dito, the radiation will make you become infertile. May basihan po ba yung mga ganon?
Well, hindi ko alam kung may radiation ng mga Xerox machines or what. You know, kasi kung halimbawang yun ang pagbabasihan mo, palagay ko everybody will be afraid of getting near a Xerox machine. But I don't think it's the Xerox machine that will be causing that kind of infertility. Kung talagang it's a real radioactive yung appliance or anything that they use for radiation therapy, halimbawa, ito ang nakaka-apekto sa fertility ng somebody, either male or female, kung halimbawang there will be radiation exposure sa kanila.
Right. So, Dr. Greg, pag-usapan po natin ang IVF.
If I can add lang,
Yes po.
isang common misconception na tinatanong ng mga patients sa amin, yung sexual position. Sabi daw nila, mas nakakabuntis daw kung missionary.
Oh, totoo ba yan?
Not true at all. So, para maging mabuntis, yung kailangan yung egg and sperm mag-meet. At maraming studies na din na nag-show na kahit anong position ng babae or ng lalaki, hindi naman din na-affect yan kung mabubuntis o mahirapan mabuntis.
I see. And in which case, kapag talagang hindi nagbubuntis within 1 year, then they have to seek medical help.
Or kung 35 years old and above, syempre, mas may edad na sila, hindi ka na maghihintay ng 1 year. 6 months pa lang, dapat nagpapatingin na kasi hindi mo na ipapaliban yung oras na mag-37 ka na, 38. So,
Right.
dapat 6 months pa lang, pwede na magpatingin, tapos kung may problema, pwede na naman mabigyan ng treatment.
So since Doc Gia, yan pala yung parang medyo cut-off natin sa edad, can we be preventive and actually say na before I turn 35, wala pa akong asawa, but I want to ensure or at least increase the probability na makakapagbuntis din ako when the time comes?
Syempre, you just have to be healthy. So, kasi yung mga babae, kunwari overweight sila, mas malaki yung chance nila na hindi nangingitlog kung unhealthy.
So you can menstruate but still not ovulate.
And in fact, actually, pag hindi nag-menstruate ng regular, may ibang babae dyan, every 2, every 3 months nag-menstruate, will point more to the fact nga na hindi sila nangingitlog kasi irregular sila.
I see. I see.
Siguro, Dr. Gia, you have to discuss the possibility na dito, kung halimbawang may edad ng pasyente, sila ang mga pasyenteng kailangan makunan na ng itlog so we can preserve the integrity of the eggs that will be collected from them.
I think that's very interesting. I
Yeah.
think a lot of our viewers would like to know more about that. So you can harvest, no? You can harvest yung inyong mga itlog habang sila ay bata pa, so that in the future, kapag gusto nyo nang magbuntis, you can put it back inside you. How does that work, Doc Gia?
Yung process na yan, that's called egg freezing. So, ibig sabihin yan, yung objective nun is kukunin yung eggs from the girl, tapos i-freeze na yon.
Okay.
So, kunwari, 35 years old at kinuha yung eggs mo at 35, pag na-freeze na yon, parating 35 years old na yung eggs.
Hindi siya tatanda.
Hindi na tatanda. So, parang insurance siya na kung in the future, mag-decide ka, I want to have a baby, tapos nakahanap ka na ng Mr. Right mo, o de, yung eggs na may good chance na good pregnancy yon kasi yung egg quality at 35 is a lot better than the egg quality, of course, ng 40 years old ka na, say for example.
I see. It's very interesting.
Oo.
But kapag kinukuha po sa inyo yung eggs, masakit na proseso ba yun?
Well, ano lang siya, yung process nun is a short 15-30 minute procedure. Hindi siya masakit kasi tulog yung pasyente. So, short procedure lang siya na outpatient. In fact, hindi mako-confine yung pasyente. They'll do the procedure, pagising ng pasyente, pagpapahinga lang maybe 1 or 2 hours para ma-wear off yung anesthesia. Tapos pwede na siyang umuwi.
It sounds like a great idea, but what about the price point? Is it pricey to have this kind of procedure?
Well, of course, the goal if you're trying to preserve the eggs is, syempre, kailangan mas maraming itlog. Kasi to increase the chance of having a live birth, you need to have more eggs. Parang lottery yan, di ba? Kung magtataya ka, syempre, mas maganda more chances of winning, di ba? So, as much as possible, you want at least near 20 eggs. So, 10 eggs and above. So, kung yan yung goal mo, aabot ng mga 300,000.
Is it something you do one time? Or parang you keep coming back and harvest more and more?
Kung konting, kunwari, mag-egg harvest ka at 4 lang nakuha, di ba? Siyempre, iba, oo, na mas maganda, siyempre, na mas marami.
I see.
So, yung goal mo talaga, kung mag-egg freeze ka, is to have as many eggs as you can.
I see. And kunyari po, successful yung pag-harvest. And then, the time came, I met Mr. Right, and then I want to be pregnant. Ano po yung success rate that I will be able to get pregnant given these eggs I have stored?
Well, syempre, nagde-depend yan on several factors. Yung age ng babae nung kinuha yung eggs. And of course, yung kunwari may problems din sa sperm sa lalaki. So, mas maganda yung chances kung normal naman yung dalawa.
I see.
Oo. And the chances increases, of course, sana there are at least 10 eggs. Kasi kunwari may 10 eggs ka, hindi naman lahat yun ma-fertilize eh. Kahit ipagsama mo na yung egg and sperm.
Oh. So, mataas din po ba yung chances ng kambal?
Yung kambal, tumataas lang yung chances ng kambal pag dalawang embryos yung tinatransfer at a time.
I see.
Oo. Usually sa IVF, we transfer 2 embryos. Kung 2 embryos at pareho silang mag-implant, then nagiging kambal.
I see.
Syempre, there are chances din na kahit isang embryo lang i-transfer mo, nagsisplit siya, yung tinatawag nagki-cleave.
Yes.
So, yun, nagiging identical twins yung ganun.
I see. You mentioned IVF, so this is one of the solutions po that we can use to address yung problema ng pagbubuntis. Can you please explain to our viewers ano po ang IVF?
Ang in vitro fertilization, ginagamot mo ang babae para magkaroon ka ng maraming itlog when you try to retrieve all these eggs nang para meron kang a good number that is reserved for you. Kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin na may itlog ka at magkaroon ka ng embryo following the placement noong sperm ng husband mo to the egg na mabubuntis ka kagad. I think tinatanong mo, what is the chance of her getting pregnant? Approximately, we have reached this stage whereby yung isang lagayan ng embryo, we can reach almost 50% na mabubuntis sila.
Wow.
Kung halimbawang marami kang naka-store na embryos that you can use, then siguro sa 2 o 3 lagayan, there is a very high possibility that you'll get pregnant with that.
I see. Matagal po ba siyang proseso? Yung IVF
The process is parang you mimic a regular menstrual cycle. So, meaning say, kung halimbawang ginagamot ka ng para maging marami yung eggs mo, that would call for the treatment ng approximately 2 weeks. And then kapag nailagay mo na, you wait for another 2 weeks to know whether you got pregnant or not.
I see. Would you go as far as saying, Doc, that IVF is one of your parang mga secret weapons if all the other things you have tried doing does not work in getting a woman
As a
fertile?
matter of fact, kapag sinabi mo mag-IVF ka na, we usually reserve this as last measure.
Bakit po?
So, meaning to say, kasi yung mga pasyente naman, kapag ginamot mo, normally, kung halimbawa hindi nag-ovulate, bigyan mo ng gamot para mag-ovulate, they'll get pregnant. So, kung halimbawa may problema sa pagpunta doon sa kuhelyo ng matres, yung sperm or things like that, maybe you can help the patient by performing other procedures like insemination and things like this, na short of IVF. Kasi yung IVF, nire-reserve namin yan. First of all, it's very expensive. Secondly, it's your last chance to become pregnant.
Oh, I see. So it's really a big deal. So yung huli ko pong tanong is, totoo naman po 'di ba na hindi lang naman babae ang pwede maging baog. So hindi porket hindi nabubuntis ang isang couple ay kasalanan ng babae.
Totoo yan. As a matter of fact, kung halimbawa itatanong mo, ano yung chance na ito is caused by yun sa babae? Basically, kung halimbawa ikuha mo yung mga cumulative data, 1/3 of that is coming from the male partner. So, sila kuminsan mababa ang count, maraming abnormal forms o hindi masyadong gumagalaw. These are the things that would be as a result of male factor. Ngayon, kung halimbawang hindi nangingitlog, then that's because of the female. Kung halimbawang barado ang fallopian tube na dinadaanan ng itlog at saka ng sperm para mapunta sa uterine cavity, ito'y kasalanan ng babae. Kung halimbawang may mga tumor sa genital tract, these are the things that can possibly play a role in the infertility for females.
Yes. So therefore guys, kapag nagpapatingin kayo sa doktor, siguraduhin na silang dalawa, 'di ba? Kayong mag-asawa ang magpatingin nang maging sigurado na ma-identify yung problem. Marami pang salamat.
Thank you.